Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number P88GR. This is a piece of gray silicone seal, adhesive-backed fire smoke gasketing, but it's a special one in that it's perforated, and there are perforations on the back every about 3/8 of an inch, and we'll talk more about those perforations in a moment. First of all, this is a silicone-based teardrop-shaped perimeter gasketing used in fire or smoke rated openings. Very common to see this sort of material in a hotel. The suite entry doors are always smoke rated doors, fire rated doors, and having a compliant gasketing on the frame is required by code. That's what there is to it. This material is available in several different finishes. The GR stands for gray. It's also available in the BL for black, the D for dark bronze, like a very dark charcoal sort of color, but they call it dark bronze. Obviously the GR for gray. This material is also going to be available in a white color, okay, and available in several different lengths. This happens to be just an 8-inch sample is what this is, okay, for purposes of this video. You can get it in prepackaged rolls like 17 feet. That's very common for a 7, 7, and 3, 3070 door, 7 plus 7 plus 3. Typical. You can also get it in 25-foot length rolls. You can also get it in 510-foot rolls. If you have many doors to do, you want to order the larger roll multiple so as to keep down the cost as much as possible. This material, dimensionally, there's an image below this video showing everything important dimensionally about it. Typical size, it's 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch. This is a very high compression rated model. This material will compress down so that if you have a gap as small as a 1/16 of an inch, this material will still work. There are instances when you have very tight margins, especially on the lock side of a door, where it really counts. I like the lower compression force models because, it's 1/4 inch, but if you have to get it to compress down, you can, rather than the thicker S88 would be Pemko's standard material for a standard teardrop shape sort of item. This is a self-adhesive back. You can see the self-adhesive backing on there. Now to the perforation, you see those holes that are there, or at least those perforations. Those perforations also extend to the back side of the material itself, and it's difficult to see. It'll be all but impossible to see on the camera, but it is included every 0.35 inch all the way down. The purpose of that is it is anti-ligature, meaning the material is specifically designed to fail or to come apart, to rip apart, should someone try to use this with some malintent purpose. Obviously, harming someone is the purpose of material like this, and is intended to combat the sort of application where you might have that. You might have it in a jail cell, things of that nature. This material, I can tell immediately just by pulling on it that I could easily fatigue that to the point where it'll rip. Okay. Certainly, someone trying to harm themselves with this or harm somebody else won't hopefully not be able to do that with this material. At least that's the intent of it. So we've demonstrated the perforation. That is a very common sort of item that you'll see in those sorts of security, assisted living sorts of applications. Now, you're going to use this in those doors that are fire smoke rated. The teardrop shape is incredibly common. The gray is certainly very common along with those other finishes. Installation. This is just a sample, but when you get the entire roll, a couple of additional things are going to come with this product, namely a label, an adhesive label that you can apply to the frame so as the instructor is able to determine that what you've installed is compliant with the requirements of the opening. The other thing that you'll get is an alcohol wipe. It is crucial, and I can tell you right away, it is crucial that you have a very clean surface onto which you are installing this material. If the adhesive isn't able to bond to the frame because of dirt, dust, debris, if it's been recently painted, or whatever, or stained, that paint or stain must be at least a week on the other side of being cured. Otherwise, the adhesive will fail, is the bottom line. I can tell you it's a very high quality adhesive that sticks right to my finger easily. But the fact of the matter is you need the adhesive to, work the entire lifespan of the opening, unless otherwise it's not a fire or smoke gasket rated installation anymore. Now, moving on to the installation aspect of this material, you're going to install it as shown in the cut sheet. There's a link below this video to a document called cut sheet. You'll take note that on the hinge side and the header and the stop, it will mount onto the rabbet of the frame in all of those instances. You want the teardrop, the bulb portion, to face the stop face is what you're going to want. Okay. There's an alternative positioning for the hinge, jam, strike jam, showing where they're installing this onto the face of the stop itself, as indicated there. That would certainly be very typical for your header, for your strike jam. The hinge jam, you're going to always want this to be pretty much attached to the rabbet of the frame as it's shown there. Now, you've got the frame utterly clean, free dust and debris. If you think you got it clean, go back and do it one more time. I've installed this material. I can tell you that if your frame is not completely clean, you'll come back the next day and the installation will have failed. I like to start at the header. I can even take this material and miter it if I'm going to use it in such a way that I can take advantage of that. I will measure and cut my header length. I will get that installed. I will do so patiently. It's very easy to take this material and make it bend like this as you're peeling away the protective film covering on the back of the adhesive, especially working overhead. You want to be patient, put it on, take your time slowly. The jams, I like to start up at the inside corner. You would not run this continuously into the header and jams because that inside corner would be a point of failure. You're going to want to start up at the header once you've got the header piece installed and run it all the way down the jam. I like to peel away only about 12 inches of this material at one time. I don't want too much of the adhesive exposed on the material because I don't want to unintentionally bump the material onto the frame and then have to pull it off. That is a situation that I don't want to do because it compromises the adhesive. Okay? You don't want to have to pull that off. You don't also want to pull it taut. I can stretch that as demonstrated earlier to the point where obviously it'll fail. But the truth of the matter is if you stretch that at all, it will want to resume its natural elasticity and likely force the adhesive that's on the back here to fail. So just push it onto the frame. No pulling it stretch. Just push. A lot of force all the way down. When you're installed, when you're working with a shorter length, you can determine a lot more easily the quality of your job by getting it straight. You know, that frame is full of straight lines, and you're going to see any sort of variation in this installation. I've seen this material installed very poorly, and quite frankly, it looks terrible. And when you have that much, waviness in the installation, it's obviously a point of potential failure for the material. Having an opening not compliant with fire code is a significant potential issue, is the bottom line. So, no stretching, patience, slow, about 12 inches exposed at one time, and make your way all the way down to the bottom of the jam and cut that with a very sharp utility blade to get it finished off. Other than that, the material is delightful to use. I've also used the S88, not the perforated version, but the S88 by Pemko as a means by which to augment existing weather stripping, because this material is inexpensive, easy to install, doesn't require any tools, and effective. I've used this to just help retard the transmission of dust from a shop setting to a showroom setting. Also helps retard the transmission of sound as well. So it's easy material to use in any sort of installation that you might have. The name Pemko is synonymous with all things weather stripping related. not only something that's fairly atypical like this, not only is it perforated for those sorts of installations that you want to prevent someone from doing harm to themselves or others, but it's smoke and fire gasket rated as well. If you have any questions on the Pemko P88GR, self-adhesive teardrop shape, gray silicone weather seal, or smoke and fire gasket seal, or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.